Welcome to NuttieBuddie Entertainment. The Ugly. Ew!
Okay, let's see here. Sarah, you got an ugly for us?
We already covered it. It was the hair and eyebrow situation.
Okay, so Thor. Yeah,
Thor's whole look was a no-go for me.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Is that your only ugly?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
What if
nice.
he had a paper bag on and was shirtless? Would that work?
I think that would. She doesn't know what to say.
We've established that that body frame is not my ideal, so it's fine. I mean, he's a good-looking guy normally, but
Doesn't do it for
doesn't do
All
it
right.
for me.
Okay, fair enough. Brian, you're ugly?
Yeah. My ugly was just, what was the lesson that Thor had to learn? This is what kind of frustrated me with the movie, because I don't think he really learned his lesson. I don't know. He's so arrogant and just like full of himself in the beginning of the movie, and just with being on Earth for like 5 days changes him completely to like where he's, I've learned my lesson, thank you, Father, for showing me the ways of my transgressions or whatever. And I don't know. I like the story, but I feel like that was very rushed. And it was more when he couldn't get his hammer, then it was just like, oh my goodness, I'm not worthy anymore. And I don't know. From there, it didn't really build off of that. It just kind of had him pouting, and then he found out his father was dead, and then he just got angry at Loki from there. And then and it wasn't until he lost to the armor guy,
Destroyer.
that I don't even know if he like I feel like Odin just was like, okay, here's your hammer, and it wasn't really like a lesson learned. I don't know. That's what it felt like to me.
See, I don't feel the same way. Because wasn't with the Destroyer. The problem in the beginning of the film with going to Jotunheim is that he was just headstrong. He was advised not to do it. He went to do it and he endangered his friends, right? I don't know the one guy's name, but the guy with the mustache and like little goatee, he got injured, right? If they hadn't gotten zapped out of there, they would have been in major trouble. And by the time, the Destroyer scene happens, he's willing to let all his friends go. He's willing to take the brunt of it, sacrifice himself to save other people. And then also when he gets back up to Asgard, he realizes that he doesn't want the Jotunheim to die, be destroyed. He wants to save that planet, which by destroying the Bifrost, which obviously would
this in 5 days. 5 days.
I'm just saying
That's where I'm hung up. 5 days.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Have I ever learned my lesson in 5 days, Sarah?
Maybe once.
Yeah.
But it only takes one time.
I guess.
So I agree to your larger point of how fast it was. That's part of my ugly, which I'll get into in a second. But I think the lesson he was supposed to learn is that negotiating over loss of lives, like the battle for the sake of battle, is more important. That's what a king has to do sometimes. Not always fight. Sometimes we got to talk it out, negotiate, and make sacrifices. Like when Odin, when that thing happened in the vault, he said it was just a few. We're not going to punish many for a few people doing something, because of the greater problem that it could create. So in that moment in the town, he was more worried about getting the townspeople out, getting his friends out of the way, and sacrificing himself for the greater good. Try to talk to his brother, but really sacrificed himself in that moment. So he didn't go out fighting because he couldn't. He had to learn that lesson. So I think that's the lesson he had to learn. Basically, not everything has to be a battle. Sometimes it requires sacrifice and negotiation and that. And I think he learned that lesson when he fought Loki, because he wasn't like just trying to beat up Loki or kill Loki. He tried to talk him out of it, and then he put the hammer down on him and tried to stay him. So that's, I think, the lesson he learned. To your larger point, though, 5 days is not a ton of time, or however many of the days. And that's sort of like part of my ugly is like, why did Odin think that Thor was ready to be king in the first place? That was my ugly. I was like, okay, he just this one thing, and it's like, oh yeah, you're not ready to be king. No more. Like, but didn't you see that throughout the entire, like, watching him grow up and battle all his battles and sort of his cocky attitude, as he's entering the I guess inauguration. You know what I'm trying to say? Inauguration or whatever. I can't talk.
Inaugural ceremony.
Yeah, the ceremony. He was, Sif, she like rolled her eyes, and so did the mother, because he's acting so childish. And I'm just like, so if you could see this, so what made you think that he was ready to be king in the first place? And then it makes me ask, like, why? Because Loki seemed like the more intelligent one at the time, the more balanced one. He was actually more ready in sort of his mindset to be king than Thor was. So that was my ugly, along with the 5 days to just change your entire life around.
Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't do some portion of the story where his dad had to hand him the crown by like a certain time or something like that, because that would make more sense if he had to be king by the time that he got into the was it the Odin sleep?
Yeah, the Odin sleep.
Yeah, that would have made a little bit more sense. But I do agree with you, it was a little weird. He should have known a little bit better if like he wasn't ready in the first place for this, instead of having it, the only thing that got him out of that was the giant breaking in. So
yeah, like think about it. Who would you have trusted to be king just watching the first 30 minutes of the movie? If Odin had to go to sleep for 30 days, let's say, and you're like, okay, which son would you make king? Based off of watching the first 30 minutes of the movie, you'd probably be like, I personally would be like, well, Loki's ready.
Oh, for sure.
Right. He's the more intelligent. Yeah. Like, he thinks about it. Remember, he wanted to get the guys out of Odinheim. He was telling
the god of mischief.
Well,
and trickery.
It's better than somebody who wants to go start wars.
I guess. Yeah.
So anyway, that was like my ugly. I'm like, I don't know what Odin's doing here, but you might be right though. He might have been under a time crunch and felt like he needed to pick someone before his Odin sleep happened. But it's still, I don't know about Thor, because like you said, quickly he just went downhill so quickly.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, any other uglies? Thanks so much for watching this clip here on NuttieBuddie Entertainment. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please let us know in the comment section what you felt about the first Thor movie. What was your great, good, bad, and or ugly? Also, check out some of the other videos. We have the rest of the Thor Great, Good, Bad, Ugly out there. We also have a lot of other great, good, bad, ugly movie reviews and episode by episode reviews as well. Please follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll talk to you guys soon.